Hello and welcome back to my channel, Grey Woman UK. Today's video is about civil unrest. There are lots of protests and civil unrest going on in the world right now. In the USA, there's the anti-ICE protests which began in LA and have since spread to many other major cities. There's also the No Kings protests against Donald Trump that saw more than 2,000 events across the US this past weekend. In the UK, anti-immigration protests are happening in Ballymena, Northern Ireland. These protests began last Monday and show no sign of slowing down. There were also pro-Palestine protests in London over the weekend to condemn the bombings in Iran by Israel. Across Europe, anti-tourism protests are popping up in Spain, Italy and Portugal, as well as further pro-Palestine protests in France and Germany. Civil unrest can happen at anywhere, anytime and for any reason. So you might be wondering how you can prepare in case it ever happens in your town or city. Here are 10 tips to keep yourself safe during civil unrest. Tip number 1. Avoidance. The easiest way to stay safe during times of civil unrest is to avoid it altogether. Stay away from areas where protests are happening or are planned to happen. Also avoid high tension areas where protests could erupt at any time. Of course, this isn't possible for people who live and work in these areas. Tip number 2. Local news. Tune into local news sources and social media to stay up to date on what is happening in your area that mainstream media might not be covering. A lot of people detest platforms like Facebook and X nowadays, but they can be great sources for accessing local information in real time. Reddit, TikTok and YouTube, especially live streams, are also good ways to stay up to date with what's going on. This way, you can keep track of when protests are planned or get a heads up if unrest has spread to other areas, so you know to avoid these areas. Tip number 3. Alternative routes. Study street and transport maps to find alternative routes home or to work to avoid the worst affected areas. Oftentimes, roads get blocked, either from protesters creating barricades or by police setting up cordons. Public transport could also be shut down at a moment's notice. You don't want to risk being stuck in traffic with a large mob coming your way. Knowing your local area is crucial during times of civil unrest. Utilising back roads or lesser known public footpaths might help keep you safe, so familiarise yourself ahead of time. Tip number 4. Time of day. Typically, protesters start gathering in the afternoons, with things kicking off in the evenings and overnight. If you need to venture out into hostile areas, do so in the mornings when the streets are quieter and it's safer. Again, this might not be possible for those who work or need to take kids to school, but it's something to be mindful of. Tip number 5. Stock up. If you can, after all, prepping is a privilege, stock up on food, water, medications, pet food etc. to see you through times of unrest and to limit the need to go out. If you have a vehicle, keep it topped up with fuel, though bear in mind, if roads are blocked, you might have to leave your vehicle behind. Tip number 6. Secure your home. Keep all doors and windows closed and locked. Keep curtains or blinds drawn to avoid prying eyes. If you have sliding porch or patio doors, you can insert a wooden batten into the runner behind the door so it can't be opened even if the door is unlocked. Just make sure to attach a handle or some string so you're able to remove it quickly should you need to escape. Invest in security cameras and lights. While these may not deter rioters from targeting your home, they can be used to help identify people afterwards, as well as give you a means to monitor things outside without making yourself known. At the end of the day though, if a mob is intent on breaking into your home, they will. The most you can do is try to slow them down while you escape. Tip number 7. Defence. In Ballymena, rioters smashed windows and set fire to curtains. Have a fire extinguisher handy to help put out small fires before they can take hold of your home. Forms of self-defence in the UK are extremely limited, and what is legal to use, such as personal alarms and whistles etc., will probably be useless against a group of intruders. However, I'm sure you can get creative and purchase items that are justifiable to have within your home. Tip number 8. Bug out. If all else fails, get the hell out. Everyone in your household, including pets, should have their own go bag or bug out bag. Go bags contain 48 to 72 hours worth of emergency supplies, so spare clothes, medication, a first aid kit, cash, a torch, food and water, toiletries, spare house and car keys, and copies of important documents. All the things you need to stay at another location for a few days or until you can go back home. Tip number 9. Bug out locations. Make a list of locations you can flee to, with a plan to how to get there using alternative routes. Consider friends, family, and hotels in your area, but also have a list of places further away or out of town or city. You don't want to flee to your friend's house a few streets away, only to flee again because the riots have spread. Don't forget to discuss your plans with your chosen family members or friends first. You don't have to explain exactly what it is you're prepping for, but just ask that, should anything happen that you need to leave your house, could you stay with them temporarily? You don't want to put them in the spot by turning up on their doorstep at 2 AM. Plan for various scenarios, i.e. you have to go on foot because the roads are blocked. Think about how you'll manage if you have pets or young children. Tip number 10. Grey man and woman. And finally, if you have no other choice but to move through dangerous areas of civil unrest, adopt the grey man principles to help keep yourself safe. Blend in by wearing dark coloured clothing, preferably something with a hood. Also consider a baseball cap and a face covering as well. Remove any jewellery or keep them hidden. Keep your head down, don't make eye contact with anyone, and don't say or do anything that will either attract attention to yourself or make others think that you are against them. For women, dressing in oversized men's clothes will help hide your shape and make you appear less feminine. Also, keep long hair tied back away from your face and hide it under a hat or a hood. Being prepared ahead of time means that if the worst happens, you can be proactive and not reactive to a situation. Being unprepared can lead to panicking, which can compromise your safety. Also be aware that in troubled times, the police and the emergency services might not be able to help you, as most of their resources will be diverted to the riots, so you need to be ready to rely on yourself. Let me know in the comments what your plans are if you encounter civil unrest.